from MDS, and this is Wolf Drexel from the Komponentenkontor, and it's hard to mix German and English, and I don't talk English too much anyway. So, welcome to Berlin, to the Tryton Unconference. This year we had a pretty long break. The last Unconference was, I guess, in Marseille, and it was 3 years ago. Corona was the fault of everything, and we are very proud to present the Unconference here in Berlin and have you as our guests. We, as a company, work since 6 years, right now. It's not our major point we work in. Majorly, we make administration and other IT works. And I would like to show you my colleagues, and it's Daniel. Please stand up. It's Daniel, it's Frederick, and our student is Max, and he is there. And I don't know if it's still, but we have to thank you to my wife, because everything which is well organized is done by her. What is not organized is my fault, so complaints to me. We won't start today because she already arranged lots of snacks, I already saw, and she is a customer of Tryton in her bookstore since probably about 5 years. She was our experiment to work with Tryton, and later on Cedric renewed our cash system, and it's now working pretty fine since 3 or 4 years. So, thank you. So, last thing, now, I want to thank the Tryton Foundation and the people who put such a lot of work in this beautiful piece of software, and this is what I put on our logo. It's the sparkles, which show the quality of Tryton, but what the sparkles don't show is the visibility to the public and to the business, where we definitely, to my mind, have to work on, and this Unconference should create some talks about to make it more present to the people and the community. For you who are new to Berlin, this is the bear, is the heraldic animal of Berlin, and it seems that it likes to eat the Tryton, but it doesn't. And yeah, time to begin, and last thing, I want to welcome our largest customers. It's the Kita Eigenbetrieb in Teltow. It's one of the largest kindergartens in and around Berlin, and it's very nice to have her here and to have a public company who sets on open source, which is definitely an exception, but not the rule. So thank you very much. And I'm not our expert here, but I give the word to Sergi.
Hello, everybody. Do you hear me? Well? Have you slept well? Yeah? Really? Not sure. I just want to thank, first of all, these two boys, because they are young boys, which are Richard and Wolf, who took the effort, and maybe the most important part is they took the idea to organize an event in Berlin, and we are here thanks to them. I'm coming from Spain. We are coming from all over the world, so I would like to give they both a big applause to thank. Okay, now let's start with the topic. We are here to talk about Tryton. I can talk about Tryton all the day, but I will prefer if I do not talk so much because I will go without voice. So I prefer if you can ask questions or you can make something more interactive than just me talking. So we'll start with a question. Could you raise the hand if you know Tryton? So who knows Tryton here? So it's better to ask who knows. Frederick does not know Tryton, it's important. And okay, I will explain the basics about Tryton, what does it do and what does not do. So I will prefer if you have some questions, just ask. So maybe I will ask the same question, but in the other side. Who does not know Tryton? 1, 2, 3. Can you please come here in the front? So we have a better conversation because that's something that I think is interesting for you. I will start to explain what is Tryton. So Tryton is a business software, and what means the business software? So it's a software that is used to organize businesses. So in such case, it's also easy to use. So it's by, when you know how to use one screen, you will know how to use each screen because it's designed to be easier to learn. Okay. So do you run some businesses? Do you, yeah? Okay. So do you know also what does it mean that it's 100% open source software? This means that the Tryton is publicly available on the net. You can download, install, but that's for me not the important part. The important part is that you can adapt, modify, and change it to make suit your business needs. For example, we are a services company in Spain. What we do is we adapt Tryton for other companies. Most of our work is to install Tryton, explain how to use it, but the important and most interesting challenge starts when we try to adapt it to customer needs because every company is different. So what we achieve with Tryton is we make a software that works for the company and not the other way around. It's like the company is working for the software. Okay. So we will see today a basic presentation of what Tryton does. And for example, we will see that we can manage sales, purchases. We can manage also the stock from the company. We can manage production. If your company is manufacturing, you will be interested in production modules. We have also supply modules which are used to compute what you need to purchase in order to fulfill the demands of your customers. We also do accounting. We have some localizations for several countries, Germany included. We also have managing projects, and we have several master data or more generic features, which is managing parties. Party is not going out in the night and drinking some beers. What we use parties is to call customers and suppliers. So any entity you are related to, we call party. Okay? We have products, commissions, have a lot of features. Everything clear from here. Just make sure to raise your hands if you have any doubt, and I will try to explain. Okay, first of all, I will start with sales because I think it's the more important part of a company, because a company without sales won't exist. So you need to manage that. For example, we have features for invoicing, automatically invoicing sales of the company based on order, based on delivery. We also have several options, shipment creation. For example, we have the feature that some companies just want to deliver the goods once the customer paid. So you can just make this configuration set on Tryton, and whenever you register on the system that the invoice has been paid by the customer, it automatically creates the shipment, so the boy in the warehouse can just deliver them. Okay. We also have support invoicing and shipping in different parties. For example, because when you send to you want to send it to a Change Hub in Berlin, but you want to invoice MDA's company, so you just do different companies. We also have price lists to make the system automatically compute what the price should be used for the customer. You can assign discounts and several rules, which is very complete. We also have coupons and promotions. For example, you can just say on Black Friday there is a 50% discount. You just make this available on Tryton. And we also have advanced payment terms in case of, for example, this is used in big manufacturing companies. So whenever you get a big order, you ask the customer to pay half of the order in advance so they can confirm. So everything is managed in Tryton. It generates automatically the advancement invoice, and it blocks the shipment, it blocks the supply, and whenever you pay such invoice, the system makes everything flow and creates the shipment, creates the supply required to produce such big machine. Okay. We also have purchases. Okay. For example, for purchases, whenever you confirm a purchase on the system, it creates a draft move, which is used to make the planning in advance. So, for example, you purchase a chair today, but you will receive it in 3 months. So we register that on the system, and you can update the delivery dates and manage all the planning related to the supplier. It also creates automatically invoices or even just the lines. So in case that the supplier generates a grouped invoice and they send several purchases in the same invoice, you can just pick the lines and group them together to make it easier to enter the supplier invoices on the system. Okay. There is also the purchase request, which is what we used to call a request from the system to the user to purchase something. Whenever the system detects with the supply modules that there is some stock missing, just generates a purchase request, so you know that need to purchase something. There is purchase request quotation. Not sure if you have ever worked with a companies that they have some policies that they need to ask to 3 different suppliers a quotation before doing the real purchase. So we have a module which is purchase request quotation, which creates the quotations in the system, register all the prices, and then you just encode the best supplier and decide it, and it automatically creates the purchases based on what you decide. Okay. We have also requisition modules, which is something like an employee, me as an employee of a company, I need a chair. So I go to Tryton, I create a requisition and say, I need a chair. And then it goes delivered to the purchase department, where they study if they will approve or not. And if it gets approved, it gets purchased. Otherwise, you don't get the chair purchased. But important is that everything is registered on the system, so you get the information. We also have history, modification. We have 2 modules which are important, like shipment cost and landed cost. For example, I got a call last week before coming here from a customer. They said, I purchased some goods in, I think it was Turkey, and it was very good, very cheap goods, but the cost of transport and the cost of customs was each. So they said me, I need to encode such codes on the systems, otherwise the product cost will be wrong. So we have 2 modules to include shipment cost and landed cost whenever you purchase something. Yeah? Everything clear? I'm going so fast. No? Because the idea is not to get in detail of everything, but just to make a brief discovery of what is available, what you can do with Tryton. If you want to have more details, just ask here, maybe better at the end, not sure if you have so much time, or just you can ask me later here in the balloon. Okay, there's also stock modules, okay? The stock modules, what we do is computing cost of purchases, but also for produced goods. We have fixed cost variation. We have average cost variation, which is the system computing the average cost depending on the purchase quantity. And we also have FIFO. We are able to manage customer supplier shipments, and we also have customer and supplier return shipments to encode on the system whenever we receive or send something to customers or suppliers. And we also have internal shipments, which are used for mainly two things. Is whenever you move something inside of the warehouse, you encode internal shipment. So the system knows where everything produced in the company is. So whenever you want to pick something, just ask to the system and they tell you, you need to pick it from there. But there is also another usage of internal shipments. So is whenever you have two warehouses, for example, one in Berlin and one in Belgium. So whenever you move goods from Belgium to Berlin, you use the internal shipment to move from there, okay? We have, for stock quantities, we are always managing two quantities, which is the real quantity, which is what it really is in the warehouse, but we also use forecast quantity. So you remember that I told you that whenever you purchase something, the system creates a move, so we know in advance what we will receive. So we are always also able to compute the forecast quantity in any date in the future. So for example, we will be able to know what we will have in our warehouse in 10 days, which is normally the current quantity plus what we will receive from suppliers in 10 days, and minus what we will send to customers in 10 days, okay? So there is an infinite location tree. That sounds very fancy, but it means that you can create on the system any deep levels of locations. So you can shelve thieves, and you can have any levels of profundity. You can create as much locations and buckets that you want, okay? There is also the two-phase shipments feature, which is whenever you are going to, for example, deliver something to customers, you do it in two phases. The first phase is you go to the location where the product is stored, you pick it, you prepare the shipment, and you make it ready. So this is the first phase. The system will help you to decide from where you need to pick the products, but it will also show a warning if you are trying to pick more products that they are in the warehouse, okay? And there is the second phase, which is just when you make it outside of your warehouse. So first step, preparation, second step, delivery, okay? We have also managing inventories. So it's crucial to have proper stock so that you can do every month, every 6 months, you need to do a full inventory of your warehouse to see that everything that is encoded in the system is correct, and to fix and correct what is not correct, okay? We also manage lots. We have lots, serial numbers. We have also expiry dates on the lots. So you can know if a product that you purchase is no more available and you need to throw away. That's managed by the system. Okay, we also, I explained some of these features now. Yeah, we also have product locations, which means that you encode on the system that a product should be stored in a location, and whenever you receive it, because we receive also in 2 steps, like I explained it for customers. For suppliers, it's the same. The supplier gets your house to your warehouse, and then they unload the goods in an incoming location. This is the first step, and the second step is to pick such products and store on the right quantity on the warehouse. So we have the possibility to define for each product if it should be stored in a location or in another zone. So whenever you receive something, the user who is receiving knows, the system tells to him where everything needs to be placed. So the warehouse is well organized. We have expiry dates that I already explained. We have a lot unit, which is serial numbers. You can create serial numbers to identify and track your products. We also manage package, and we are also able to generate labels for package to send them to whenever, with web service to the carrier, and they get a PDF or image for the label. They just need to print and put it on the package. We are able to split, move, and shipments. So for example, there are cases where you do not have enough quantity of a product, and for example, you want to deliver from another warehouse, so you can split the shipment and send from another place. And we also manage secondary units, which is, for example, in case you want to manage something that it's managing two units like units and kilograms. So, for example, you know that one unit weighs 1 kilogram or 2 kilograms. So you just encode the kilograms, and the system will do the conversion. The important part here is that there is the primary unit, which is what is used to know the available stock, and there is the secondary unit, which is used to do the computation for you. Okay. We also have production or manufacturing modules. Okay. So whenever we produce something on Tryton, the system will compute the unit price and the cost of this product. So how we compute this cost basically is we get the cost of the raw material used to produce. So it's products, and then we know the cost of the final product, and we got for example, the cost of the full production, and we also have the cost of every unit we produce. Okay. We also have BOM, which is the letters of bill of material, which is used to define the parts that are used to produce something. Okay. We also have flexible inputs and outputs, which means that you may have a bill of material, but that says that to produce something you need two parts, but when you are producing one part is broken, so you need to pick another one. So for this production, you will be using three parts instead of two, because one is broken. So the cost of this production is more because something is broken, and this is automatically managed by the system. Okay. We also have routing, operation, work centers, and machines cost, which is used to define not just the cost of materials, but also the cost of machines, the cost of people working. So you define, for example, in order to do a chair, we need to cut something, and we have a cutting machine. We have two machines, one which is older, which is more expensive to be used, and another which is more modern, which is less expensive. So you can declare on the system, set the cost of each machine, and it will compute the correctly cost depending on the machine used. Okay. We also have employee time sheets, so we can encode on the system who employee did something, which time spent. We are also able to split productions, because, for example, if you got a big customer order, you won't be able to produce that in a single step. So you will be able to split the production in several days and plan it, for example, for different days, and everything is planned on the system. And we also have outsourcing, which is outsourcing means that some part of the production is not done on the warehouse, but it's done for external company. For example, I produce the chair, but it needs to get paint, and I do not have any machine to paint it, so I deliver to a supplier, it is painted, and it comes back to my warehouse where it's really painted. This is also managed by the system. Okay, we also have supply, which is maybe the feature I like the most, because it's like something that does a lot of things for you. Okay, you define for each product which suppliers can be purchased at. You are able to encode the code or the name of the product for the supplier, but also the price and the delivery time. And the system will use such information for generating requests to propose a supplier for purchasing it. We also have minimum and maximum order points. So you declare on the system that I always want to have 10 units of this product. So whenever the forecast quantity, and it's important that the system uses the forecast quantity to do the supply computation. Whenever it's the case that we have a forecast to have less than 10 units, it will ask us to purchase it, okay? It generates purchase, production, and internal request, okay? And it's important to know that it's also recursive, so whenever you need to produce something, this production might have some raw material that you won't have on the system, so you might need to produce in another production or purchase in another production, so the system will generate all the steps required to produce everything, okay? Are you getting bored? No, nobody, okay? There is also possible to define a forecast. For example, on the system we can define that the next month we plan to sell 100 shares, and we define that and let the system compute the manufacturing needs for the full month, and it will ask, you need to purchase all these products to be able to fulfill the demand. That it's something that you do not have any order, but you estimate to have such orders, so it will plan everything, okay? It's also possible to supply on sale, which means that you won't have any warehouse any stock on your warehouse. So whenever the product is sold, the system will ask you to purchase. And this also, we are managing drop shipment, which is when you do not have the stock in your warehouse, but the supplier sends directly to the customer. So whenever you receive an order, you just make an order to the supplier to purchase and to deliver to the customer. The system computes all the information, and you just need to take care about invoicing your products. Okay, that's the boring part. We also have accounting models, which is to fill the regulation. We have chart of accounts with several companies. I said we have Belgium, we have France, we have Spain, we have I think Germany, we have also UK. Not sure if I'm missing something, but I'm sure that we have more than what I tell you. We manage accounting, chart of accounts, we have taxes, and we also manage evolution of over time, which means that whenever, politicians or tax regulations always change their mind and they want to change the taxes, so we encode on the system that, for example, a tax will be used starting on 2024, so the tax is it's just available for some time, okay? We manage account move. Every account move, normally it's automatically generated by invoices, so the system is doing accounting for you, okay? We also generate the most accounting reports, which is balance sheet, profit loss, and tax reporting. And it's important to know because the tax reporting is possible to be done in cash basis. I'm not sure if you know what is cash basis, but it's, you are just reporting. Normally, when you do tax report, you get an invoice and you include such invoice on the tax reporting. But when using cash basis, you only include on tax reporting the invoices that you already had been paid for, okay? And the system does the computation automatically for you. We also have tax rules, which is what we use to define that, for example, a party is not a local party, and we don't need to build them for the standard VAT in Germany. We need to build them for the intercommunitary European tax, which is 0. So we define a tax rule for the party, and the system automatically computes the taxes based on that. Okay, we also do bank statement. We have some modules to import the bank statement from the bank. So you go to the bank website, you download a file, and you enter that to Tryton, and you get all the movements in front of the screen. You just need to do some mapping. We have some bank account statement rules, which is makes the system aware of some special keywords and does the matching automatically for you. We have a strong accounting valuation, which is using Anglo-Saxon and continental methods, which basically means that whenever you move some product on your warehouse, when you purchase something, the account move to get that in your balance are automatically done by the system. We also manage payments, which is Stripe, SEPA. We also have Bind3 now, which is missing here. But for example, in the SEPA, you can generate an order to get the receivables to the bank, and you automatically get your money in the bank. Or you also might order bank transfers to pay your suppliers, and the system generates a file. You upload that to the bank, and everything is done automatically. Okay. We also manage assets of company and the depreciation over time. So you encode the assets you have, and the system will depreciate it during the whole life it has. We also manage credit limit. Credit limit is when you want to assign a customer that cannot purchase more of your products if he does not pay, okay? And the system will compute the limit based on the receivable invoices and the receivable accounts of the company, but also it's integrated with sale. So whenever you try to confirm a sale order, if this sale order makes will make the receivable amount bigger than the limit, the system will advise you and will ask for authorization of different groups on the users of the system. Okay. We also manage, I think not so much, but I'm missing two or three more slides, just to not make it so long. We also manage projects, okay? So projects are used basically for encoding timesheets and employee time tracking, okay? We have a different task tree. You can organize the projects and tasks in a very flexible way. You can do whatever you prefer. We also have computation of revenue and cost for each project. So the system will tell you if you earned some money or you lost it. We also have integration with purchase module. So whenever you purchase some products that are needed for a project, you set that to the purchase, and then the cost of the project will be including the final cost of the purchase. We also have some models for invoicing customers. So you can invoice based on the effort, based on timesheet, and I think it's also another method which I don't remember. Yeah, or progress. Okay, yeah, it was that there. And we also have a project plan module which allows you to define which tasks have precedence over the others, and whenever you can start one and finish one, and it will compute automatically the starting and end dates of a task based on their predecessors. Okay. We also have other generic models, which is, for example, party relationship. We are able to manage, for example, the contacts of a company. We also have you can create as much relationships as you want and enter that to the system. We have a module for managing commissions. You declare the agents, you create a plan, and then the system will automatically create a commission for your agents, and at the end of the month, for example, you can create the invoices for them, so they know when to need to invoice you. We also have email notifications whenever a customer shipment is sent, whenever an invoice is sent, whenever something happens in the system, we might send a notification to the end user. We can include, for example, PDF on such notifications. So whenever an invoice is sent, we can just automatically send the invoice to the customer and say, you need to buy that. Or whenever a shipment is sent, say, you will receive such products. Okay? We also have web users. It means that we can create a web portal to create integrated with Tryton. So the user can, for example, see their invoices, place new orders, whatever you want. We also have user applications. I did a full presentation of a user application in Marcel that basically is it to allow external applications like mobile applications, for example, to connect to the system and enter in information. We also have marketing automation and marketing email. We are able to define some kind of scenarios. For example, if a customer leave an order unconfirmed for 5 days, just send them an email remaining that, okay, you need to, do you want to confirm those products? So this way, it's a marketing practice to increase sales. We also have LDAP integration. So if you have in your company an LDAP server where to authenticate your users, you can use semi-authentication and semi-credentials on Tryton. We also manage product attributes and measurements. Okay, so for example, with product attributes, we are able to have managing the t-shirts with colors and sizes. We have a single product, and we have several variants for it with each of the attributes. We are able to compute the stock of each of the variants, but we are able to define the price of the t-shirt in the main product without the need of duplication information. And we also have some security measures. Okay, so I think it's the most secure systems I know. We have encrypted passwords, minimum length, and entropy. So whenever you want to introduce something different, Nicolas, do you have something to ask?
No, entropy is not involved.
Well, but it was some verses ago.
Because it was broken, yeah.
But we need to re-implement it better. Maybe we'll do it better. No?
No, I don't think there's a better way.
No? But entropy is something, maybe, okay, just forget about entropy. We something that I will remove. We also have brute force protection, which is quite interesting because I have every month a call from a customer saying, I cannot enter to the system, it's blocked, I enter my password. So whenever you put your password, I think it's 5 times wrong by default, it gets you seem that the system is very slow, but it's that the system is slowing your requests because you are trying to brute force to attack the system. We also have very complex user and groups and roles. So we are able to define groups and roles in the system. So whenever a person enters the system, has its own permissions, and these permissions defined per model. We call it to each object in the system. So for example, you define if he can see invoices or not, or he can see sales or not. We also are able to define for each system, for each field in the system, if the user is allowed to see it or is allowed to read it or not, or write. We also have record access rules, which means that some user might just not see the full information of the system. So for example, if you have 2 warehouses, we can define that the user isn't just able to see the current warehouse. Okay. We also have button rules, which is something like I like a lot. If you have a big purchase, for example, the system asks you to purchase more than 100,000 euros. You just click confirms, and the order does not confirm it automatically because it requires the authorization of another user with a different role. So you are able to confirm purchases with lower amounts, but for bigger amounts, the system will ask for authorization. And we also have security release because everything is very good, but we all do mistakes, and sometimes there are some security issues. So whenever somebody reports some problem in the system, this is made confidential, and whenever we have it fixed, we release a new version for all supported versions, and we publish a new to say, please somebody update your system because there is something to be fixed. And this is what's more important for me. It's a system that is alive, so it's not something that you have there and you don't need to do anything with it. So it's something that it's a system that is growing. Every 6 months we have a new release. We had the last release in 1st of May. We'll have the next one in 1st of November, first Monday, I think so. So you know that there is a schedule to getting new features, and whenever you have a release, it is supported for 1 year. And we have a special rules for long-term support series, which is they are supported for 5 years. So I think the first long-term support was 5 years ago. We are ending the support now, and the next version which we will release on November will be an LTS release, so you can install it and you have bug fixes and security releases for it during 5 years. So you have, you can move fast if you want, when you can go slow if you prefer. So it depends on the needs of your systems, of your company. So your custom company is quite stable, not doing fancy new things. Just you can keep on a long-term support version, and otherwise you can just update to newer versions. And that's everything from my side. Do you have any questions? I think we have a microphone there. Oh, Nicolas.
No, I don't have any question.
Ah, okay.
I will just...
There's some question there.
There will be 2 mics, one for the and one for... Seems slightly complicated. So, I'm Volker. It's quite interesting what you told, but I have some additional questions for it. First of all, you have, say, your sales price list based on partners, customers, and groups. Can you also attach them to a project?
To projects?
Yeah.
For a project we have different suites. So in every task, on every project, you define the specific price of it. So it's not managing a price list on projects, but for each project you define the price.
Okay. Otherwise, you say for the stocks you've got some that you put the prices. Sorry, I'm not fluent in English.
Valuation.
So you've got FIFO, the average price.
Mm-hmm.
Can you also make the LIFO, last in, first out?
We do not have it for now, but we can make it.
Yeah.
Maybe. Never tried. I don't think it's...
Well, it's not really necessary, but it's quite interesting. And if you work with charges, or you call it lots or something like this, can you put the price where you get the material for to that, so you can calculate with the original price for the product?
The original price? Not sure to understand.
Yeah, if I buy a network card, for example, now it's a price from €100 for 6 months ago. it was a price for 90 euro, and so I can say, oh, now I sell you the network card from 6 months ago, and got the price for 6 months ago, and not the average price or the FIFO price or something like this.
I think we do not have that by default, but you can do it. We have for price list, you can use the cost price of you can. So what you are explaining, it seems like you are selling based on your cost price. So our price list can be based on the cost price of the product, but we normally use the average or FIFO cost price. So when in such case, if you purchase a network card using FIFO, the change and you declare the price based on the cost price. Whenever the first product goes out, the list price will be computed using the new cost price, and the price will be updated.
Okay. When you change the available stock amount, when you do the commission, or when you do the shipment, or when you do the invoicing?
When the shipment is done.
And the shipment is depends.
You can make the invoice based on the shipments, but you can also make the invoice.
Yeah, but then if you change, it's more complex, because if you update the price on the invoice, yes, it gets recomputed. And later, if there are some landed costs added to the product, the price is also recomputed. And when you are doing manufacturing, if the prices of the materials are updated, the manufacturing cost is re-updated, and there is a big process like there. Little bit complex.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any more questions? Okay. So I'm going out for now. I think we have more people that want to talk now. Not sure who's the next.